everyone, and welcome to the 30-Day Summit, where Russell Brunson has brought together a collection of his top 2 Comma Club and 8-figure award winners to share with you how they would literally survive and begin to rebuild their business in just 30 days if they lost it all. My name is Bailey Richard, and I'm delighted now to be speaking with Dana Derricks. Dana, hailing as the premier expert on the Dream 100 and author of 8 books, featured on Forbes, Inc., ABC, and more, has personally worked with over 1,000 entrepreneurs in his career and has directly been responsible for hundreds of millions of dollars in revenue while impacting millions of lives. He is also a world-famous goat farmer. So Dana, welcome to the summit.
Thank you so much. And I have my goat with me, so just in case we need.
Oh my goodness gracious. Is that from that famous goat meme online?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness.
So they have now the screaming goat, and you have to get one.
Goodness gracious, that is too amusing. Okay, well, let's dive into your 30-day plan. We're starting in week 1. You say that you would take an inventory of your skills that can help people, choose one, and then choose a niche to apply it to. But you also say that during week 1, you would spend a decent amount of time going after testimonials. And I want to know how you are going to be doing that if you're starting from scratch and you don't have any clients.
Under the assumption that I had done something in the past that worked, whether it was related or not to the field I'm now diving into and the niche I'm choosing, there's nothing more valuable right now that I could do than go get testimonials or success stories or case studies or whatever from what I've done in the past. So like quick example, even if I was just starting out and I just got done with being a student, for example, like if I was a college kid just starting out and I'm like, oh man, like I want to be an entrepreneur, but they didn't teach me anything in college about being an entrepreneur, and I don't have any like case studies or testimonials or anything, I would go to a buddy or a friend or a professor or somebody that I've had in my past and get them to vouch for me. Hey, this guy's this guy's that. So whoever I can pull from, if I have to call my aunt, my great aunt, and be like, hey, Virginia, could you get on the phone with me and can I interview you and ask you a couple questions? And I turn that into a testimonial. So whatever you got to do, wherever you can get them from, that's what I would do.
And this is all based on the fact that you believe that social proof is one of the most important selling factors. Is that true?
Absolutely. There's nothing more powerful than what somebody else says about whatever it is you're selling. There's nothing more powerful.
Got it. Excellent advice. So you say that by the end of week 1, you will have already launched 1 funnel. And you even say in your plan, and I quote, I will not have launched 3/4 of a funnel 600 times. So can you comment on what you're referring to here?
Yeah, totally. So for those that are familiar with kind of the ClickFunnels community and the Funnel Hacker, where we all hang out and what we talk about, there's a lot of people out there who are really struggling. And what ends up happening is they will get 3/4 of the way through launching a funnel, and they'll do like majority of what they should be doing, but then something will get hard, and then they just will give up. And then they'll be like, ooh, there's another shiny object. And then they'll start building another funnel around that. And then something will happen. They won't get a result right away, or something will be in the way. And then they will go quit on that and then start another one. So that's pretty much based around, there's been people that have said, oh man, like, how can we only have 100 funnels in our ClickFunnels account? Like, that's not enough. And it's like, oh my gosh, you have 100 funnels? You should be making like $1 billion, right? Like, so instead of having 100 or 600, 3/4 of a funnel, you should have one completed, really good one that you stick with.
This is something that I'm hearing from so many of the summit interviewees, that simplicity over a complicated funnel is definitely better, and that you really need to just focus in on the one that you are going to use in order to make a bulk of your business's revenue. I mean, that's Russell's whole thing, right? 1 funnel away. You only need to be focusing on 1 funnel.
Yeah, exactly. That's why Russell doesn't say 1,000 funnels away.
Absolutely, absolutely. So at the beginning of week 2, you're already talking about in your plan something called the Dream 100, something that people will definitely know to associate with you, especially if they saw you speak on it at Funnel Hacking Live in 2018. So could you explain to us what is your Dream 100 and exactly how does it work? And perhaps during this second week, what are some of the activities looking like that you're going to be doing?
Totally. So for those that weren't fortunate like you to be at Funnel Hacking Live 2018, which was amazing, by the way, I got the privilege of going on stage in front of over 3,000 amazing funnel hackers and talked about the Dream 100. So real quick, the Dream 100 is a concept that was invented by a guy named Chet Holmes. He's got he has an amazing story. Long story short, what he did is he decided that he was selling advertising for a magazine, and his company, when he joined, was dead last. They were not doing well, and he said, I'm not going to deal with that anymore. I'm going to change this. So he went to his competitors. He looked at his competitors and browsed through their magazines and saw who was advertising, who was purchasing for advertising in those magazines, and made a list of all those people, and it ended up being his Dream 100 potential clients that he wanted to sell advertising to. And then he spent the next 2 years relentlessly pursuing them. Some of them ended up buying from him, some didn't. But he took his magazine from last to first in those 2 years by using his Dream 100. So Russell then took that concept, because it was just kind of an idea at that point. Nobody had really done anything past what Chet did, and brought it mainstream. And so Chet basically did it from a one-to-one standpoint, going after his end client. Russell took it and went after a one-to-many approach, which is basically Russell went and found his Dream 100 affiliates, potential partners who would promote ClickFunnels. And Russell relentlessly pursued them and blew up ClickFunnels by doing that. And I was like, this whole Dream 100 thing is kind of I've already been doing that. Quick example, when I was 17 in high school, my senior year, I grew up in a town of 600 and I had 30 in my graduating class. So I had a big class, and football was huge for me. So I wanted to play college football, and nobody from my town did that. None of my coaches ever played that. Nobody went off to play sports in college from that small town. And so what I did is I'm like, okay, I got to figure this out. I printed off a list of 40 different schools that I wanted to play at. And I put together this recruiting packet. I had a letter written to that school. I had my highlight film in there, had a letter of recommendation for one of my coaches, social proof. And I fired that off to all 40 schools, and nothing happened for 2 weeks. And I was like, dang, that was a waste of time. And then 2 weeks later, the coaches just kept coming and coming, and everyone's like, what is going on? How are their coaches coming here for you? This is not normal. And I eventually got a football scholarship because of that. So not only did I get to play in college, I was the first person in the history of my school ever, the only one to get an athletic scholarship because of the Dream 100. So when I started reading about it, I'm like, oh my gosh, I've already been doing this my whole life. I need to double down on this. So I did, and got my 2 Comma Club award because of it. Won Inner Circle Member of the Year because of it. Got that little cool cartoon with Russell, and got to speak at Funnel Hacking Live because of it. So that's the backstory on it, why I'm so passionate about it. I wrote the book on it, the Dream 100 book. Russell wrote the foreword to it. And specifically, I know you want to get into the actual action steps, right? So we're 2 weeks in, right? We've identified what our niche is and what we're going to do, right? So now we're thinking, well, who the heck, I want to build my Dream 100, but who the heck do I target? Where, how do I even find that? Where do I start? So what I do is I always start with my customer avatar. That's 2 things real quick. So it's who you want to attract. More importantly, what everybody doesn't talk about or doesn't do enough of is who you don't want, who you want to repel. Okay. So when we have that figured out, our Dream 100 is super easy. So if anyone's struggling with I don't know who my Dream 100 is, it's probably because your avatar isn't really nailed down. So once you have your avatar nailed down, now it's simply, where do they hang out, right? That's it. So I think to myself, lowest hanging fruit. If you're already online, it's what Facebook groups are they in? Who are they following? What influences are they following? What are they buying? What are they what podcasts are they listening to? What books are they reading? What videos are they watching? What YouTube channels are they subscribe to? It is endless. It's okay, who's my avatar? Now, what the heck are they doing? What are they listening to? What are they watching? What are they buying? What are they reading? Whose mailing list are they on? And then I just start riffing all right, so if I want to target let's say a funnel hacker, right? Who are they going to be? Where are they going to be? Probably in the ClickFunnels Facebook group. Who are they going to be listening to? Probably Russell's Marketing Secrets podcast, right? It's very clear. So that's when I start building the list. It's like, okay, they're here. Oh, and they're also here, and they're here, and they're here. And this is who owns that group. This is who owns that group. This is who controls that group. And the building of the list is actually really easy at that point.
Okay, so if I'm understanding you correctly, all the way up until about halfway through your plan, you're focusing on your Dream 100 clients. But then on day 15, you said something interesting which guides your actions throughout the rest of your 30 days. You said that you understand that I'll always make more money showing people how to successfully do the thing as opposed to actually doing the thing. So what do you mean by that, and how does this affect where your actions are going to lead during the second half of your 30 days?
Awesome. So the first half of this 30 days was the one-to-one thing. So it's like the spirit of Chet. We're like, I need money. I need to fix my problem. I have been, let's go, right? So I have been doing work one-to-one for clients, right? So I've used the Dream 100 in that capacity, whether that was going after the actual clients I want to work with in my Dream 100, or finding the groups that they're already in and then approaching that group leader with an offer to give them what I'm providing, and then have them promote me in return to their group, who are my perfect avatar. So back when I was like freelance writing, just for an example, I was doing this thing, and I charged a ton of money. I charged $10,000 for a service that the next competitor was charging $500 for. And the reason for that is because I got a really good in with one group. The leader, I did a bunch of work for him for free. So every time that I wanted my calendar full, I was like, snap my fingers, say, hey man, could we do a quick promo? I got open spots on my calendar. He would promote me to his group, and it would just blow up. My calendar would fill right up. It was endless. And that was just one person. So fast forward down the road, now I'm going to solve a problem that you're going to have because of that. So one thing that's really important to know is problems don't go away, even when you make a lot of money. They just change, right? So here I am sitting in this position of making a ton of money because the Dream 100 works, working with a bunch of clients. But then it's like, oh man, all my time is being spent working with clients, and I'm getting really burnt out because I was stuck in that trading time for dollars thing, right? So what I needed to do is get out of that. I needed to scale what I was doing. So for me, I came to the realization that there's more money to be made by teaching what you do and showing people how to do what you're doing than doing it, right? And more importantly, I think you can help a lot more people that way. So what I realized was this wasn't scalable. I can't I can't work with 1 million people. So instead, I bundled up what I was already doing and I put that into a package, nice, neat package, and I decided that I was going to sell that package, which did essentially the same thing, but I'd be able to scale that because it's a lot quicker and easier to be able to send out a package, right, in the mail or give people access to a login or something than it was to actually do the thing for them. So what I decided was I came to the realization of this is something from Russell, and I can't remember who it was he was talking about, but it was somebody in real estate that made $10 million as a realtor in flipping houses, excuse me, and then which is awesome, right? But then they made $100 million teaching other people how to flip houses. And I was like, ding, ding, ding. That makes sense. So then I essentially just decide that you're going to show people how to do what you're doing. And that's infinitely more scalable. And then we just tweak our Dream 100. So instead of going after our end client, we're going after people that can link us to our end client.
Okay, so this was something that even required a mindset shift from me whenever I was reading your plan, is that the Dream 100 could be several different things. It could be clients, but it could also be affiliates. So in the beginning of your plan, while you're actually doing the thing and providing the service, you're looking for your Dream 100 clients. But then after you put this package together that you want to sell to other people, whether it's a course or something like that, then you're going to be shifting the type of Dream 100 you pursue from being clients to being affiliates, so that you can find people to work with that will help you expand the reach and the sales of this package that you've put together. Is that correct?
Exactly. And it's literally, the Dream 100 is endless too, by the way. Russell wrote in the forward of my book, he literally wrote, we use the Dream 100 for everything. And the quote on my book that Russell gave is, Dream 100, this is the foundation for our entire company. So it doesn't stop at just affiliates or just your end clients. everything you need, Dream 100.
Even though I personally had never heard of the phrase Dream 100 before I heard you speak at Funnel Hacking Live 2018, when I did see you talking about it, it instantly resonated with me because it was something I was already putting into practice with the summits that I was hosting for myself and my clients when we would have to reach out and find guest speakers and other affiliate partners to help promote the event. So I can see tons of ways in which this is very applicable.
Yeah, and the coolest part is, this happens all the time. You're like, oh my gosh, I was already doing that. But now you're doing it, and you can get more intentional about it, and you can really get even better results doing it.
Absolutely. Dana, do you have any final thoughts to share with us specifically about the tail end of your 30-day plan and how you would follow up after you've identified the affiliates that you want to work with for this particular product launch?
Yeah, so after 30 days, it's really a matter of getting ready to actually. So first of all, I want to touch on you got to reflect on what just happened. What you just accomplished in the last 30 days, people have spent lifetimes, their entire life trying to do this, and they never got it to work. And you did it in 30 days. That's amazing. Now take 5 seconds to pat yourself on the back, and then we got to go back to work. So really the next steps are, what the Dream 100 does, especially when you have it kind of encapsulated around something that's really scalable. And that was the whole point of the transition at day 15, was we want to be able to scale this so that you aren't I talk about hit by a bus syndrome. If you're hit by a bus, oh no, your business dies. But if your thing is scalable, you can kind of plug someone else in. So what you have to get prepared for now is the Dream 100 blows things up, really fast growth, lots of people in your world suddenly, and you have to get prepared for that. So there's, again, problems don't go away, they change. Now the new problem is, oh man, we got too many people. We got too many people wanting our stuff. I need to get the right people in place. Too many people buying our stuff. We need more support for that. And all the good, great growing pains that come along with it. And then eventually you get those awards, and then there's an X through it, which I'm working on right now. And and then all of the cool the cool growing pains that come with that, but it's really fun. So Dream 100 gets you there, but you better be ready.
Love it. Great advice. Dana, we're actually coming up on our time for this interview, but I want to make sure that I give you one final opportunity to share anything else with our audience, specifically about your 30-day plan or Dream 100 strategy.
Yeah. So for those of you that were able to read my plan, I hope to goodness you understand how much time and effort I put into this. Russell is my personal mentor. Everybody has their one person that that catalyst for them. He's that for me. So I hope you understand, I put my whole heart and soul into this plan, and I know that it works because I've lived it for 11 years, but I spent 11 years doing this, and there was a lot of this. And you don't have to do that, because if you just deploy my plan, you're going to have success. And I hope you know that. You don't just read it and say, oh, that looks cool, but you actually do it. And then you come back and you give to others, and you can sit right in this seat someday.
Yeah, and even though we don't have 100 speakers on this summit, what Russell has done by bringing all of you 2 Comma Club and 8-figure award winners together is exactly the principles that you are explaining through your Dream 100, and really, bringing all of the different people that Russell wanted to work with together for this incredible event. So for any of you doubting whether or not Russell even uses these techniques, this Dream 100, the answer is absolutely yes, and this event is proof.
Exactly. And you know what else is funny? I wouldn't be here if I didn't Dream 100 him. So it's both ways.
It's full circle, absolutely. Dana, once again, thank you so much for being a part of the 30-Day Summit. For those of you watching at home, I've got a question for you before you go. Are you ready to embark on your own 30-day path to success? Well, if that's the case, then I have something incredible to tell you about. It's called the One Funnel Away Challenge, and you can click on the button on this page to learn more. But if you are ready to create your own personalized and customized 30-day plan to getting that next winning funnel launched with the help and the guidance of a 2 Comma Club coach, then the One Funnel Away Challenge is something that you absolutely need. Plus, whenever you upgrade and join the challenge, you're going to be snagging some incredible bonuses, including a physical copy of the 30 Days book where we've put together all of the 30-day plans crafted by all of the speakers on this summit, unlimited access to the interview that you just watched with Dana, and of course, all of the rest of the speakers on this incredible event. And my personal favorite part of this entire package is a second behind the scenes video that I've recorded with every single speaker on this summit, where they're actually showing me via screen share how it is that they have set up their award-winning 2 Comma Club funnels. The value is out of this world, and it's something you definitely don't want to miss, especially if you want to get into the 2 Comma Club. So make sure that you click the button on this page to learn more. Dana, one more time, thank you so much for being a part of the 30 Day Summit. We really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.